He's crazy. That's what he is. A loony. A nutcase. A genuine wacko.
Uncle Edgar is always looking for things. Things like 3 paper clips or a chrome coat hanger.
Or 1 patent leather tap shoe.
He rummages through trash cans. He goes to garbage dumps.
He's always bothering my other tenants. One day it's bicycle spokes. Then it's baseball cards. And who do the tenants complain to? Yours truly.
He won't let anybody into his apartment. Not even his own niece.
All that junk he's collecting, it's a fire trap.
He could hurt himself.
And other people. Namely, me.
He needs your help.
Yesterday, he wanted a yo-yo. By 6 o'clock. And last week, pieces of broken dolls. Heads, arms, legs.
Please do something, Doctor. Please, for his sake. And ours.
Of course.
Don't work.
Mrs. Milligan.
I think he's disconnected it. Down there, in the basement.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks anyway, Mr. Pilchick, but I already found a brass thimble. You're not Mr. Pilchick.
I'm Dr. Jeremy Sinclair. May I talk to you, Mr.
Some other
Witherspoon?
time, perhaps. I have to look for a doll's head.
One old man in a private world of irrational urgencies. For Dr. Jeremy Sinclair, an all too common sight. But Edgar Witherspoon is a most uncommon old man with a secret that reaches out to the 4 corners of the earth, as the good doctor is about to discover.
Your niece. She worries about you.
She's a very nice woman, so tell her not to worry. See, a simple solution. Thanks for coming. It's been a pleasure meeting you, but I have to get on with my work.
Your work?
I bet you'd like to know what it is, wouldn't you?
Yes.
Wrong answer. You see a doll's head here anywhere?
You mean like that?
Ah, too big. Also brunette. I need blonde. And I need it in 5 minutes.
And, what for?
You want Santa Barbara to fall into the ocean? Then stand aside, sir. Stand aside. Woo-hoo! Just in the nick of time. No time to lose.
Mr. Witherspoon.
I'm sorry. I shouldn't be rude. You've come all this way to see me.
May I come in?
And it was so nice, a pleasure meeting you. Tell my niece hello. Now, if you'll excuse me, I've got to stop the shaking in Santa Barbara.
Mr. Witherspoon.
On your way out, could you dump this?
Good afternoon, Doctor. Did you see Uncle Edgar?
Yes, this morning.
Well?
I wouldn't exactly call it a long conversation.
But long enough to realize that he's...
Oh, absolutely. On the other hand, Mr. Witherspoon appears happy and quite harmless.
Harmless? He pesters strangers on the street. He runs after garbage trucks. That is far from harmless. Somebody saw him take a baby's bottle out of its carriage. I'm afraid he'll get arrested next time. Doctor, I will sign anything. cooperate in any way I...
All right, maybe I'll have another chat with them, and a longer one, and see if I...
A small earthquake tremor was felt shortly before noon today. The force was enough to rattle dishes and a few nerves, but no injuries
Did you hear
were
that?
reported.
What?
In international news,
There was something about it. Sorry, it was nothing. I don't know what I was thinking. I'll call you as soon as I can.
Thank you very much.
threat of terrorist activity could be a problem. Acid rain is affecting the northern lakes even more than scientists.
Mr. Witherspoon?
Go away. I'm not home.
It's Dr. Sinclair. I was here last week, you remember?
Sorry, I wasn't home last week either.
Mr. Witherspoon, I could legally force you to open this door to me. Is that what you want?
You're a curious one.
Odd, you mean?
I mean, nosy.
I'm paid to be nosy. Curious, I mean.
Really? Don't you think that's odd? Most people are curious for nothing. That's very nice for you. Are the hours good?
Mr. Witherspoon, why do you collect dolls' heads, shoes, paper clips?
I can't afford Rembrandts. What? Oh, no. Oh,
No. As usual, it's been lovely. Please don't call again.
I may have to. And next time it might not be so lovely. You understand what I mean, Mr. Witherspoon, wouldn't you? Rather invite me in of your own free will.
You must. You must.
be very, very careful where you walk. That was a close shave.
This is very, interesting, Mr. Witherspoon. What is it?
This is the only thing that keeps the world from going poof.
Now, let me understand you clearly, Mr. Witherspoon. You say that this is what keeps the world from going poof?
And it's not easy. Most things are nearly impossible to find. Where would you look for a skate key?
Oh, I can't imagine.
I found one, though. You think that's crazy?
Well,
You wouldn't by any chance have a business card, would you?
oh, yes, of course.
That was an easy one.
Well, I won't take up any more of your time. I've seen more than enough.
I used to be an engineer. Earned lots of money. Then I retired. Worst mistake I ever made. Life was so damned boring. And then the voice spoke to me.
Oh, you also hear voices.
You too?
Please, tell me about it.
I was sitting in the park one day feeding the pigeons, and suddenly, there it was, the voice. Edgar, it said, have you ever been to England?
Oh, yes, why?
No, that's what the voice asked me. Edgar, it said, in the heart of Big Ben, there is a pendulum that tells the clock how fast to tick. At the bottom of the pendulum, on top of the big weight, there's a stack of pennies. Every so often, they take one off. The clock speeds up. Or they put one on. The clock slows down. The pennies change the balance just a little, but enough to keep the whole mechanism running perfectly.
So, what you have here is some kind of clock.
Of course not. Why would I build a clock? $3, any drugstore. Doesn't lose 10 seconds in a year. Anyway, the voice said, Edgar, the world is a funny place. Little wars here, big wars there, volcanoes going off, storms, tornadoes, a terrific amount of noise and bother. You have to build something that will keep the world from going too far, maybe even going poof. What the pennies do for Big Ben, this does for the world.
Who do you think it is who's speaking to you?
Well, sometimes I think it's God. And then I think, no, God would have a deeper voice. Would you care for a prune, Doctor?
Oh, no, thank you. I was just leaving.
But you've just arrived. Oh, careful! I have no idea how the thing works. All I know is that the voice tells me what it needs, and I get it.
Goodbye, Mr. Witherspoon. You keep up the good work.
We could call it a sculpture. Would that make my niece happy? What? Oh, no. If you happen to run across an old tuba, would you bring it by? I need it in 2 hours. Cynthia, don't do this to me.
Uncle Edgar, please. It's just for 3 days while they observe you.
It's too long. It has to be maintained, kept in balance.
Mr. Witherspoon, you hear voices. That isn't normal. You must understand that.
You hear voices, too.
No, healthy people do not hear voices.
You hear mine, don't you?
That's not the same thing.
Why, what's the difference between a sane man hearing a crazy voice and a crazy man hearing a sane voice? Maybe the truth is somewhere in the middle. You don't understand the risk you're taking. I knew it. There goes Tatoa.
What's Tatoa?
A tiny island in the South Pacific. What time is it?
3:17.
At 3:17 in the afternoon, Tatoa became history because of you. Please, well, there's still time.
It'll take me days to clean up this junk.
Keep her away from it. Remember Tatoa.
Classic psychosis. Tired, feeling useless, he created a typical delusion of grandeur that he was vital to the world's survival.
Poor Uncle Edgar. You will take good care of him, won't you?
Mideast stalemate continues. Congress passes Transportation Act. And in the South Pacific, the tiny island of Tatoa is destroyed by a tidal wave. Details on this and all the news in an hour.
Did he say Tatoa? Yes, the number for the Chronicle, please. Thank you. Hello, I want to check on a news story. I just heard something on the radio about a tidal wave destroying an island. Yes, that's it. Are there any details? Really? I don't know. When? This afternoon? I mean, exactly what time? Thank you. Miss Walker!
Yes, Doctor.
Tatoa was destroyed at 3:17 this afternoon.
Is that bad?
Last week, Santa Barbara was hit by an earthquake. I'm not taking any chances. Oh, my God. The landlady. She'll destroy it.
Santa Barbara?
Get Mr. Witherspoon released immediately. Drive him home. You personally, as fast as you can. Don't touch the thing! You didn't, did you? You haven't touched anything or moved anything.
Not yet. Why?
Because this is the creation of a disordered mind. And by studying it, analyzing it just exactly as he left it, I can come to a deeper insight into Mr. Witherspoon's problem.
He's a loony. What else do you have to know?
No. It's not that simple.
I can't rent this place with garbage in it.
All right. I'll rent it.
You?
Yes. I'll give you double what you're getting. I'll be up later with a check. Thank you, Mrs. Milligan.
He's escaped.
Excuse me. Hello.
Mr. Witherspoon! Mr. Witherspoon!
Should I call the cops?
No. Everything's going to be fine. Mrs. Milligan.
You got a handkerchief?
Oh, yes. Yes, right away.
Thanks. That lady had me dressed so fast, I left mine behind.
Mr. Witherspoon, I don't know how to begin to apologize. Nothing in my training had prepared me for a case like yours.
Well, nice meeting you.
Where are you going?
Away, finally, after 11 years.
But what about Puff?
The voice spoke to me while I was in your hospital. It said, "Edgar, have you ever been to Miami?" I said, "No, but I used to think it would be a nice place to retire." "Go for it," the voice said. "You're off duty."
You mean all this isn't necessary anymore?
Sure it is. It's absolutely essential. The world still has to be kept in balance.
So who's going to... I mean, look, it needs adjusting already. Just get a ping pong ball in there by 7:13.
Well, I guess we solved that little problem. I'd get cracking if I was you.
Impossible. I refuse.
Jeremy, really, you'll grow to like it. Give it a chance. So long. Don't take any wooden nickels. Unless you really need them, of course.
Mr. Witherspoon! No, a tambourine. You gotta help me. I have to find a tambourine right away. Right away, please. Can you help me? Do you know where I can find a tambourine?
If in the next few months you notice that there's been a spate of catastrophes or things are just not going right, remember that Edgar Witherspoon's replacement is learning how to make some precise adjustments. Don't worry, his education will not last long, and then you might give thanks to a physician whose practice extends to the well-being of the entire planet. Dr. Jeremy St. Clair offers a unique form of preventative medicine found only in the Twilight Zone.
Yes, I realize there are only 3 weeks left on the fundraising drive. That's why we've got to make as many contacts as we can. Uh-huh. Well, did you talk to him? Yeah? Jerry, everybody's tired. But we're too close to our goal to slow down now. Right. Yeah, I understand that, but... Well, look, all I ask is that you try, okay? All right, thanks. Bye.
There dwells within this parish a modern-day apostle and master builder who lists among his tools of trade a Bible, a rosary, and a calculator. His name, Father Mark Cassidy. Age, 42. A fair and noble man who's about to discover one of his accounts is still open. That account is labeled Guilt, and it's concealed in a ledger stored in the Twilight Zone.
Good morning to you, Father. Breakfast is up. The bacon's cooked and crisp the way you like it.
Well, I don't really have time for breakfast, Maggie. Got a meeting with the Trustfall Foundation people this morning. But I could sure use a cup of that coffee.
You look like you could use a bed.
Maggie, please. We need the Foundation's participation in this drive, and I promised the bishop I'd get it. Is that the biggest cup we have?
Why not hook up the coffee pot to an IV? Oh, Father, I know. What you do with your life is your business.
Thank you.
But what you're doing with it is not so good.
I gotta go.
You're working too hard on this hospital wing. You don't eat right. You need rest. Keep it up, and I'll bet you 2 bones and a cup of milk you'll be the first person needing a bed when it finally opens.
It's a children's wing, Maggie. They won't admit me.
And I think you're worse than a child when it comes to taking care of your health.
School bell rang, Billy. Well, at least go in out of breath to show you made an effort.
Thanks, Father.
Maggie, call 911.
Father Mark, what What is it? Father Mark!
Go back. There's been an accident. Call for help. Call for...
I remember that children's wing when it was nothing more than a dream.
Monsignor Perot. It's good to see you, as always.
I look forward to these monthly visits. Gets me out of the city. It makes me feel vital. Oh, do you mind?
No, please. How's the bishop?
Delirious. We don't know what you said to the Trustwell Foundation yesterday, but they've been calling all morning, demanding to know what they can do to participate in the building of the hospital wing. Mark, I think we're going to reach our goals sooner than we think. Are you okay?
Oh, yes. I guess it's just the shock of all this coming to an end.
Well, maybe none too soon. Mrs. Dugan cornered me on the way in. She thinks you've been working too hard.
Perfectly all right. I work hard, sure, but so do you.
Oh, I know I do, but I also enjoy my time off. Mark, in the 20 years I've known you, I've yet to see you take a vacation.
There was just too much to be done around here.
I know. And if it wasn't for you, St. Timothy's would have closed its doors years ago. But you need a break, and I want you to take one.
Monsignor, with all due respect, I couldn't take a break right now even if I wanted to, not with us being so close.
But Mark...
I made a commitment to those children and their parents to build them this wing. They're counting on me. If I'm tired, that's a small price to pay for all the good that will come of it. Please, don't ask me to stop now. Not before we're finished. And Father Damien looked at the leper as though he were his brother. And he took the pipe from the leper's mouth and he put it in his own.
Oh, gross.
Well, it sounds awful, I know, but with that one selfless act, Father Damien gave the leper something very precious. He gave him dignity. Now, I'm not suggesting that you go out in the world and help lepers. There are countless other sacrifices you can make in your everyday life that will make you equally worthy in the eyes of the Lord.
Father Mark?
I'll be right back.
Wait!
What's he running after? Let's go!
Don't just stand there, get help. Can't you see? Can't you see?
When Father Mark first came to me with the idea to raise money for the children's wing, my reaction was, we better get bigger collection plates. $2 million. I confess I had my doubts. But fortunately for all of us, he didn't. Father Mark, it is due to your undying faith and selfless devotion to the children of this community, to all of the people, that we finally reached our goal. The hospital wing will be built. And I'm happy to announce that from this day forward, it will be known as the Father Mark Cassidy Children's Wing.
This is a great honor. I guess I should be happy, but I don't know if I deserve this.
I know we all know this is an emotional time for all of us, so please, there's refreshments for everyone down in the church basement. Mark. These are lovely grounds. I'm surprised you don't make more use of them.
There's just no time.
For people whose business it is to preach eternity, it's ironic that we can't take a little moment to ourselves every now and then. Oh, these roses are especially lovely.
They were a favorite of a friend of mine.
You know, the bishop is singing praises about you. He thinks what you've accomplished here is nothing short of a miracle.
Well, please tell the bishop to reserve his praises for somebody more worthy than I.
There are very few.
Well, Senor, I am only a priest.
No, you're a good priest, and God won't think any the less of you if you pat yourself on the back every now and then.
I'm not so sure about that.
Well, that's a matter for debate, and one that you'll now have plenty of time to reflect on.
No, there's still too much to be done around here.
Mark, this is not a request. The bishop has ordered you to take a leave.
But what about the clothing drive and the pageant and the operating costs?
Don't drive yourself so hard. Others can do those things.
No, they can't. You don't understand. There's something God wants me to do. Something here, right here. And I cannot leave until I find out what it is.
What it is? When you came here, St. Timothy's was on the verge of collapse. Now we got a thriving church, a school, a new hospital wing. The parish couldn't have survived without you. You've built a solid foundation. Now St. Timothy's can stand on its own.
What about me? What do I do now?
God gave you a mission, and you've completed it. Trust him to show you what to do next.
What do you want me to do? I live with Kelly's death every day. I keep hearing her crying, begging. Mark, help me. It was so senseless. Why her? Why wasn't she thrown from the car instead of me? How could you let it happen to her? It wasn't fair. I was the coward. I saw the flames, and I was afraid. You could have saved her. I know I could have saved her, but I was afraid. I didn't want to die, so I ran. I know I'm not worthy of your forgiveness, but I ask your mercy. Haven't I atoned enough for what I did? Please, I cannot go on like this. Tell me, why is this happening?
Good morning, Father.
Yes, it is.
You're looking extremely well this morning, Father.
Blessed are the pure in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. A message delivered from thousands of pulpits to millions of people yearning for peace, including one local parish priest whose road to peace and salvation crossed right through the Twilight Zone. A beautiful summer day, full of adventure for a young boy. On the surface, a field like any other, soon to be covered with neatly arranged family homes. But today, this curious boy is about to discover a terrifying secret that could only be shared within the confines of the Twilight Zone.
Over there, Sheriff.
Okay, follow me. Watch your step there. All right, you're down.
What is it? An old mine shaft?
No, there weren't any mines around here. More like a cave entrance.
What are those?
Drawings. I see you're still using one of those old cameras.
Oh. Gives the most detail. Well, this is the only part of the cave that we have the paintings in.
Why is that, Dr. Klein?
Well, we think that maybe they used this as a sort of communal area where they got together. We don't really know. All we do know is that you might just be the first person to enter this cave since prehistoric times.
You mean since dinosaurs were around?
Well, maybe not that long ago. But if these cave paintings are authentic, maybe as long ago as 12,000 years. How's that?
Long.
Well, we'll know as soon as we get these... Freeze! Sheriff. Now, very carefully, lift your right foot. Take a step backwards.
Sorry about that. Hope I didn't do any damage.
Fortunately, no, but you're going to have to be a lot more careful.
What's this?
Well, we think that that's a hunting party. See, that's a bison underneath the fire.
What's that over there?
Oh, that. Well, that could be kind of spiritual doorway, or a circle where they all got together for protection.
Wow.
Something, huh?
That was really neat, Dr. Klein. Thanks a lot.
Anytime, Steve.
Bye. See you, Sheriff.
Bye, Steve. Oh, looks like you're making some real progress down there. So what's this problem you're calling me about?
Sheriff, this could be one of the single most important archaeological discoveries of the century. I'll know as soon as I get my photographs back to the university, but meanwhile, I need to know that this site is going to be protected.
Protected? From what?
Vandalism. Some of the artifacts have been disturbed.
Anything taken?
No, just moved around. I think somebody's trying to scare us off.
Well, Doctor, I don't know. A raccoon could have gotten into the cave, I suppose.
Sheriff, would a raccoon drag a sheep's carcass to the mouth of the cave?
Maybe a dog or something. I don't think anybody means you any harm. This isn't like the city. Well, no offense intended.
Well, no offense taken, Sheriff. But in the city, any cop on the beat would have noticed that sign. And speak of the devil, here he comes.
Hi, Sheriff. You still here?
You mean in spite of your feeble attempts to scare us off?
Now, Dr. Klein.
What's that supposed to mean?
You know what I mean.
She's convinced that you are causing trouble up here. Is that so, Jim?
She's the one causing trouble. I've got houses to build. Now, just because they found a hole in the ground, my whole schedule's shot to hell.
I think it's a little bit more than a hole in the ground, Mr. Hilson.
Fact is, it's my ground. Now, if you want a couple of rocks and bones, fine. Take them and get out of here.
Come on, Jim. These things take time.
Fine, fine. You want to defend the little lady?
Little lady?
Oh, hold it, you two.
Oh, come on, Roy. You know how it is. I've got 2-bedroom ranch styles to build.
And swing loan payments to make, I bet.
What's my financing got to do with this?
You're probably way out on a limb financially, aren't you? If you don't get this development built soon, you'll lose your shirt, right?
That's none of your damn business.
That's all right, Sheriff. I don't need protection. It's those cave paintings that are priceless that need protecting. And I'm going to recommend to the state that they be protected under existing law. So you can just forget your scare tactics, Mr. Hilson.
Well, I'm not going to be shoved around by some ivory tower intellectual.
Dr. Klein, I will look into the vandalism. So you just go on back to your dig.
She can go back to her dig. But I'm going to court.
Yeah, it could be your lamb.
Dang right it's my lamb, and you got to do something about it.
Don't get your shorts in a knot, Jacob. Bill Dempster's lost some cattle, and Wally Johnson's broodmare's missing. I got my hands full right now.
Look, I think it's Wolf. So is Wally Johnson.
Come on, Jacob. You know there hasn't been a wolf seen in these parts for over 30 years.
Look, whatever it is, you better find out what it is and stop it.
I know what my job is, Jacob.
Ha!
Dr. Klein, do you want to ride with us?
Hmm?
We're heading back to the university for the weekend. We wondered if you needed a ride.
I'm staying here, John.
You really should try and get out of this hole for a couple of days. Okay, see you on Monday.
Have a good time.
Bye, Dr. Klein.
What the hell is this?
still warm, isn't it?
Holy Hannah, you scared the bejesus out of me. Why didn't you answer when I yelled?
I didn't know who you were. What are you doing here?
Tracking missing livestock. All the blood trails I've been following the last 2 days have led in this direction.
And?
And I think I may have an answer. The animals have been dragged into this cave and probably cooked right here. The problem is, who's been doing it? You got any ideas?
Couldn't care less about some missing sheep.
Who said sheep?
Well, I saw the bones, Sheriff. I went up top to get some equipment. When I came back, it was there.
Well, what are you doing here?
I work here, remember?
You're not doing any digging with that little flashlight. What's up?
Well, you're going to think I'm crazy. But there have been some changes in the paintings.
Now, what do you mean, changes?
Let me show you something. Take a look at this.
Yeah? So?
Take a good look.
The hunter is on the right side of this little circle thing in the picture. And on the wall, he's on the left side. Looks like the negative's flipped.
No. Look. Here, he's facing toward the circle. And there, he's not only on the other side of the circle, he's facing away from it.
Well, I don't know, Doctor. Some prankster could have gotten into the cave and changed the paintings.
Like who?
Maybe the same guys who left the carcass outside the cave. Or maybe you are right about Jim Hilson. Maybe he is trying to scare you off.
Well, I'm no fan of Jim Hilson. You know that, but he's just not bright enough to pull off something like this. Anyway, these are authentic.
And how do you know that these are authentic?
Sheriff, I studied in the caves at Altamira, Casula Gorge, and Caplon. And I did my dissertation on the cave paintings at Lascaux. You just have to take my word for it. I know about cave paintings.
Okay, so they are real. What's your explanation?
I don't have any. And the fact that they're real just makes it that much more disturbing.
Come to think of it, it doesn't explain what you're really doing down here tonight either.
Sheriff, something is happening here late at night. That's the only explanation. There's someone here all day. So whatever is going on happens at night.
And you are planning to spend the night to get the drop on the bad guys, right?
Well, I don't know what kind of guys I'm dealing with, but I intend to find out.
No. You're not doing anything of the sort. Come on, let's go into town. You can come back out first thing in the morning.
Sheriff, you're not in charge here. I am. And I intend to spend the night, and that's that. You see, I've got my cot here so I can keep an eye on things.
Doctor.
So you just mosey on along, and I'll see you tomorrow.
Doctor, this is my county.
Toodaloo, Sheriff. Sweet dreams. What's going on?
Who's there? Who's there? Who's there? Who's there?
Dr. Klein!
Time is the invincible enemy of mortal flesh, or so modern man believes. But somewhere in the dark past, a few of our distant ancestors discovered a way to bridge the millennia. It's a secret that was buried 12,000 years ago and rediscovered for a brief moment in the Twilight Zone.
can feel the weight of your arms, your legs, and your body slipping away. It's a pleasant sensation. You're free of everything holding you back. You can think with perfect crystal clarity. Your name is Lorraine Guston, but you've had other names before this, other lives. They're buried deep inside. But now as you begin to float freely, they start to rise up within you. You can see them clearly. Now, search them for the most significant memory of your past lives. Open your thoughts and let the sights and sounds come in.
I'm sewing. I work in a dressmaker's shop.
Good. What year is it?
A long time ago.
Okay, good. Now, look around you. What do you see? What's happening?
They're shouting at the door. Men with guns. They're wearing uniforms, red. British soldiers. They say they know we're hiding revolutionaries. I keep telling them, no, we only make dresses. We don't know. We haven't seen her. Oh, but, oh, God, they don't believe us. They don't believe me. Torches, they're setting the shop on fire. They won't let us out, please. Oh, God.
It's all right.
No,
it's all right. Mrs. Guston, listen to me. It's all right. It's all right. The fire is disappearing. You're safe. You're safe. It's going away. Everything is as it was. Now you're starting to come back down. You're floating back down. You can feel the weight returning to your legs and your arms. I'll touch your hand, and when I do, you will awaken feeling refreshed, and you will remember everything you've seen. 1, 2, 3.
I don't know how to thank you, Miss McNeil. I feel better than I've been in years. For the first time, I understand why I'm so afraid of fire and men in uniforms. And to think it was a memory, and from so long ago.
If we all knew that we'd lived before, and if we could remember those past lives, we'd understand ourselves so much better. Maybe we'd be kinder to one another, knowing that in a previous life we were poor or hurting or hungry.
Oh, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Have you ever tried yourself?
It's ironic, I suppose. I've never been able to remember any of my own past lives. But I keep trying every day. Someday, who knows?
Mary McNeil, dealer in dreams and memories, to whom the uncovering of past lives is the greatest good she can render to a forgetful humanity.
Your name is Mary McNeil. You have had other names before this.
8:57 p.m. and Mary McNeil makes another attempt to discover a previous life. However, the journey she is about to take is to a different place, a land whose borders are defined by the region we call the Twilight Zone.
Now, search them for the most significant memory of all of your past lives. Search them for the most significant memory of all of your past lives. Nothing again. Well, at least I got some sleep. Divincourt, I'm so sorry. I know it's the oldest excuse in the world, but I overslept and I rushed out without even thinking to call. Excuse me, but have we met? Oh, of course. We made the appointment by phone. I'm Mary McNeil. You called me last week about wanting help with your memory?
You must be mistaken. There's nothing wrong with my memory.
Oh, certainly. What I meant was the memory of your lives before this one. I can assure you it's a very simple process.
In my last life, I was Corporal Lon Desmond. I fought in the Second World War and won the Medal of Honor. Awarded posthumously, of course.
But you know? But how?
The medal? It was nothing. I jumped on a grenade to save my squad.
That's amazing. How did you know that?
Look, I really don't have time for this sort of foolishness. Thank you, and good day.
He ever gave me any changes. I had the same problem with the boss my last life. Man, just my luck to get stuck like that 2 lifetimes in a row. You know, how's it going with you, eh? What's up?
Excuse me, miss, can I help you?
This used to be my office.
That must have been some time ago. I've been here for the last 2 years. Is there something I can do for you? Are you looking for work? You say this used to be your office. Are you out of work?
It's difficult to explain. You see, I woke up this morning, and I don't know what's happening anymore. I mean, I don't know if I've changed or if the world's changed, but something's happened. I don't even know why I'm bothering you with all this. It's just that there's nobody else for me to talk to.
Yes, there is. Now, if it's any help, you're not alone. A lot of people have trouble adjusting to their new lives. That's why we're here. If you would just fill out this form, and when you're finished, we'll talk. My name's Jim Sinclair. I'll be sitting at the desk over there. Excuse me. What's a regression therapist?
It's nothing. I don't think it matters anymore.
Relationship counselor, self-help instructor, 2 years as head of a crisis counseling unit. You have a high priority on helping others, an admirable quality. I see you didn't list anything from your previous life.
I didn't know that you could.
It helps, particularly when you've developed no skills in this life. Now, if we can just run through the jobs you had in your last 3 or 4 lifetimes, starting with the most recent. We won't go back more than a couple of 100 years. There's not much call for blacksmiths.
Well, I've always felt that I must have lived during the Depression.
Felt?
That is, I'm always very moved when I see pictures from that time. As if I knew what those people were going through.
Could you give me some references for this life? Name some of the people you might have known.
I really don't remember.
Addresses, marriages, schools, technical, liberal, anything at all? Look, I'm trying to help you, Miss McNeil. I can't do that if you won't help me.
I didn't say I wouldn't. Listen, I'm sorry I took so much of your time. Thank you for your help.
Sinclair here. I just had a woman in here who listed only her present life on her resume. Yes, that's right. When I pressed her for details on her past lives, she claimed she couldn't remember them. No, I don't think she's a new soul. She didn't have that vacant look so many of them have. Mary McNeil. Yes, I agree. She could be the one we're looking for.
So her behavior was significant, you say?
A lot of people disapprove of what we do.
Doesn't sound like disapproval. It was more like shock, as if she'd never seen such a thing before.
It's possible she's been out of circulation for a time. That happens. And then there is the other
So
possibility.
we discussed, but I'm not ready to accept that theory. There's something wrong here. I think she's hiding something, this woman. Before we do anything, we must be certain.
Will you bring her in?
If we don't decide to kill her first.
Miss? Miss, are you okay?
Go away. Let me die in peace.
I'll go get help.
No. No. You know the law. Anybody who wants to die can die. It's my right, and you can't take it away. I've chosen exposure, malnutrition, sleeping pills. It's a lot cleaner than a bullet, isn't it? Guns scare me. A lot of things scare me.
Why in God's name do you want to die?
In my last life, I had a nice job, a nice family. People liked me. Can you imagine that? But now look at me. Look at me. Look at this body I was born in. I have tried everything, and nothing works. I'm going to start over. I'd like to go to sleep.
No.
What do you care?
I care plenty. Not because of what you look like or who you are, but because you're needed in this lifetime. Surrendering is wrong. You're needed in the here and now, not in your next lifetime.
Nobody needs me.
I need you. Seems I don't have anyone or anything. Maybe we could start over together. Can you give me that chance? Can you give me that much? I'll go get help. I'll be right back. There's a woman back there. Can you get an ambulance? I think she's dying. This man from the agency. No. No.
Sorry, miss.
No. No. Promise me you'll get that woman an ambulance.
We'll look after
Promise
her.
me.
I promise.
Okay, let's go.
What about the woman?
What about her?
I made a promise.
Get her an ambulance.
Are you doing this to me?
Call us concerned citizens, Miss McNeil. We're part of a group not quite sanctioned by our government, but then not entirely denied either. We play hide and seek. We seek out people like you, your kind.
What kind is that?
Well, that's what we've brought you here to determine. Who are you, Miss McNeil? Really? I've heard that you claim not to know who you were in your previous lives. You must understand that that's quite irregular. It's utterly unheard of. And we can find no documentation on you. No identity papers, no place of residence. It's as if you did not exist. And if you do not exist, then no one will miss you. So you see, it's in your best interest to cooperate with us. What are you trying to hide? Who were you in your previous lives?
I told you, I don't remember.
Remember? Remember what? Names? Places? Body counts? Have you been to Moscow lately? Guyana? Uganda? What names did you go by in your past lives? The Borgias? Attila the Hun? Lady Macbeth? We can run down the whole bloody litany if you like, if it helps to jog your failing memory. Haven't seen our friend Adolf in a while. Could there be a little Führer hiding in there?
Leave me alone. You could be telling the truth. If she is, and she's the one we're
Not
looking
in
for.
front of her. If she's telling the truth, we're going to find out soon enough.
And when we went to Daddy's funeral, Mommy said we should be brave. I wore my new blue dress, and I read a poem that I wrote myself. After it was all over, Mommy said we had to move.
Earlier.
But I didn't want to.
Go earlier.
I don't know.
Who were you?
I don't remember.
I'm going to double the serum.
That could kill her.
We're going to have to take that chance.
Welcome back, Miss McNeil. Oh, my head. It'll soon pass. You were telling the truth. For what it's worth, we're sorry we had to put you through all that. But you're free to go.
Just like that. What about my life? What? Sorry, wrong number. Just hang up and walk away like nothing ever happened.
Precisely, Miss McNeil. Unless, of course, you would care to work for us.
See you in hell first.
Sinclair, get us some water. We're offering you a very rare chance, Miss McNeil, to go from a prisoner to a savior. You are a healer. We ask you to help us heal. We want you to help us forget. Forget who and what and where we were.
You're out of your mind.
Perhaps I am. Maybe we all are. Look around you. Did you smell the madness out there? It gets worse with every generation. You can smell the death that we needn't fear because we come back, but which is with us from the cradle to the grave. Think of dying and then the new agony of rebirth, and you remember it all, Miss McNeil. We're so busy avenging the past that we lose the present. That's the world we live in. That's the waking horror that's our everyday existence.
What can I do to help you?
You have a gift. We need you to teach us that gift. We need you to help us let the past be swallowed by silence. No more carrying grudges across the centuries. No more longing for days and lives past. Just the moment. And the thrill of making this life as good as it can be. We've waited so long for you, Miss McNeil. If we were harsh, it was out of fear and hope. When we first met, I knew you wanted to help people. We're giving you the greatest opportunity that's ever been given to a person. Help us, Miss McNeil. Help us to forget.
Your name is Ruth Warden. That is the only name that you will remember. Let the memories of your past lives fade. When you awaken, you will remember only that you are Ruth Warden, and you will begin your life with a fresh start.
Mary McNeil, who set out on a voyage of discovery that brought her home again by a most curious route. now appointed guardian of doors best kept sealed in the mirror, mirror world of the Twilight Zone. Your attention is drawn to the residence of the Brockman clan, an ancient mansion, its paneled walls polished by darkness, a lightless, soundless place upon which a greater darkness has fallen. The object of the Death Watch, Selina Brockman, grand dame of the menagerie, who lies in her bed in an inch-by-inch battle with death, trying somehow to reach a compromise instead of a capitulation.
What is your prognosis, Doctor?
Take 2 of these every 4 hours to relieve the pain. If it gets any worse, call me.
You'll come tomorrow.
Yes. Yes, of course.
You didn't answer my question. How is dear Aunt Selina?
She's dying, Miss Brockman. She's been dying for some time. The only difference now is that death begins to have clearly defined lines, and you discover that it knows your name. Is that the answer you were looking for?
Just concerned, Doctor. I was thinking tomorrow after your visit, maybe we could go out for a drink. Does this mean you won't be coming by tomorrow?
In case your aunt didn't tell you, I inherited this family from my father, who got it from his, and that carries a certain obligation. A word you may not be familiar with. So, yes, I'll be here tomorrow. Only question is whether Selina will still be with us.
Dr. Burrell, Selina won't die tonight. She'll hold on as long as she has to.
Come in. Your coach awaits, madame.
Okay, let me just do one last check.
Are you sure about all this? It's a long way to go on the basis of a telephone conversation.
She's my aunt. They say she needs me.
But you never even met her.
No, but I've heard about her. My dad used to talk about her in this sort of whispery tone of voice that he usually saved for anything that was unusual or exotic or just plain different.
She sounds weird.
She's dying.
any talk of an inheritance?
Susan!
Well?
Some, depending on my going down there and helping out. But I'm really just more curious than anything else. Okay, that's it.
Last chance.
Suze, I spent my whole life within walking distance of this place. I think I'm entitled to a little adventure, don't you?
Okay.
You'll have free run of the house. If you want to find anything, just ask. This is Orville. He's our sort of combination handyman and village idiot. Oh, relax. He's quite deaf. All you have to do is turn away when you talk. You can say anything you like. Isn't that right, Orville?
Who's that?
My mother. She's quite harmless. I don't even think she knows we're here. I'm told there's a family resemblance.
You'll just have a minute. I'm giving her something to help her sleep.
Deborah Brockman, you sent for me. I'll be helping to look after you, so if you need anything at all, day or night.
I don't think she realized how hard she was squeezing.
Is she as ill as they say?
Worse, but she hangs on.
She's a strong woman.
Well, I'm not sure I would call it strength. It's more like a desperate clutching for life. It's as if she's waiting for something. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to be so morbid.
Oh, that's all right. This place will do it to anyone.
Well, for what it's worth, good luck. I hope you won't need it. See you tomorrow.
About bothering you. I mean, it's just a spot. Still. I didn't want to mention it in front of Aunt Selina.
No, that's good. You can't be too careful. Though in this case, it's curious but harmless. It's a liver spot.
A liver spot?
Well, it's uncommon in someone as young as you. But it's completely benign. You probably got it from too much sun.
How could it appear so suddenly?
Probably the skin's been darkening by degrees for some time and only now become noticeable. Since there's only one of them, good bleaching cream 2 or 3 times a day will do it. And stop hanging out on the beach.
Doctor? If you're quite finished, your real patient would like to see you now.
Yes, well, if her condition has progressed as I expect, I'm surprised she can still see anyone.
Good afternoon, Doctor. And isn't it a perfectly splendid day? Well?
Pulse is stronger. Heartbeat seems to have stabilized a little.
You sound surprised.
Well, frankly, I am. When I came through the door, I expected to find...
A corpse?
I wouldn't have put it that indelicately.
Perhaps you're a better physician than you give yourself credit for.
No. I'm good. I'm not that good.
Aunt Selina has a very powerful will to live, Doctor.
Yes. So it seems. Now, I don't want you overexerting yourself. This could be a temporary remission. You don't want to cause a relapse.
Oh, I'll be very careful, Doctor.
Well, thanks, Orville. I'll see you tomorrow.
Are you feeling all right, Debbie?
Oh, I think so. Just a little tired, that's all. Probably need something to eat.
Why don't you go lie down? I'll bring you something in a little while.
Thank you. I think I will do that.
Yeah.
It's Deborah Brockman. I know it's late, but can you come here?
Is it Selina?
No, it's me. Please hurry.
Deborah?
Back here.
Why are you sitting here in the dark?
I don't know what's happening to me.
It's okay. Everything's gonna be fine.
Look at me.
I know. I'm gonna get you to the hospital and do some tests. Come on, Jack. I mean, there must be something you can do.
What? Look, we've run every test we've got. Blood count, cell structure, you name it, we've put her through it. And we can't find anything wrong with her.
You've got eyes. You've seen her. Looks like premature aging to me.
I agree. It's a nice label, but until we know what the cause is, that's all it is. Look, I'll arrange a CAT scan, see what radiology's got. If I hear anything at all, I'll let you know. Now go home and get some sleep.
Dr. Chen, OR3.
I'm sure this is quite unnecessary, Doctor.
Yes, I'll decide that for the time being. Whatever's hit Deborah, I have to know if it's contagious.
I've never felt better in my life. Neither has Aunt Selina.
And your mother?
Oh, she never changes. She just sits up there in her catbird seat watching the world go by. That's a souvenir from childhood, if you don't mind.
My niece is correct. We don't need a doctor. Your interest is appreciated, but as you can see, we're all perfectly well.
Oh, yes, I can see that. It's a curious coincidence, isn't it? Deborah's showing signs of premature aging.
I said that would be all, Doctor. In fact, I should think that you will no longer be required. Payment for your services will be sent on to your office.
Well, what about Deborah?
Oh, we'll see to it that she gets all the best care. You needn't concern yourself with it any further.
Fine. Well, if it's all the same to you, I'll choose what I want to concern myself with. Good day. What is it? The diary? The Brockmans? July 17th, 1940. Our picnic was almost ruined by a fire when a horse kicked over a kerosene lantern. Only Martha was burned. The physician says she'll be all right, but we'll have to live with a scar for the rest of her life. It's in the same place as her daughter's scar. Can you get me back in there tonight? Martha Brockman. Are you? You're Diane. You're the daughter.
What are you doing here?
At first, I didn't believe it. I mean, I didn't want to believe it.
What are you talking about?
I went to the hospital. I did some checking. Diane Brockman has green eyes and no visible scars. The woman sitting in that chair has green eyes. So what color are yours? And where did you get that scar? How old are you really, Martha?
Get out.
Oh, it's a convenient deal, isn't it?
Get out of here! Get out of this house!
Not before I talk to Selena.
No.
Selena! Selena!
My God.
Selena, he knows.
It isn't right, Selena. Give Deborah back her years. You know it isn't right.
Not right? What do you know about it? The game is longevity, Doctor. You play at it with your medicines and your stethoscopes, but we've won. There's one rule, Doctor. It has nothing to do with morality or love. When illness or death encroach, the trade takes place. That's the way it's always been and the way it always will be.
No. Get away. Get away from me!
Mommy!
Orville, rest his soul. Selena, Martha. Well, maybe she'll finally find some peace.
Just one missing.
Missing?
One of the neighbors said he saw a woman break through a window. Her clothes were on fire. When we got there, she was gone. Hard to figure.
That's Diane. Deborah, thank God you're all right.
What's happening?
Where to begin? I'm not sure that I, thanks, understand it myself.
Did anyone survive?
I don't know. We're not sure about Diane.
Dr. Chen, OR 3.
What do you think?
She's old, indigent, with massive burns over most of her body and face. I wouldn't hold out too much hope. Best we can do is try to make her last hours as comfortable as possible.
Did you notice, though, her left arm seems to be healing quite fast?
For all the good it'll do.
And it's the strangest thing. I mean, it doesn't hurt or anything, but just look at it. I swear I didn't burn myself, but there it is. I've been wondering if it's psychosomatic. Maybe I've been working on the burn ward too long.
Dr. Robbins, call 23.
Jane Doe, age unknown. Sole survivor of a terrible fire, soon to undergo a miraculous recovery. A living warning to those who fail to perceive the distinction that there is a difference between the fear of death and the love of life, especially in the Twilight Zone.
I'll need complete quiet, please.
Lights, a crowd, the proper atmosphere, and the common coin of desperate belief. Commodities necessary to the life and times of Leonard Randall, who may or may not be someone else as well.
I am Delos, and I am here. "10,000 years ago was I born, and 9,500 years ago did I die. I have walked the cobbled streets of the place men called Atlantis, but which we called Shuma Zamoria. My master in wisdom was Eli Ben Zamora, who studied at the feet of the Undying One himself. To you, I bring what little I can offer against the darkness. I am
and I am among you. Speak, and you shall be heard.
So David is a nice man, and I think he's a soulmate. But I'm not sure. And I don't want to get married again until I found that soulmate. I'm really getting pretty desperate.
My child, in Shuma Zamoria there was a rare breed of butterfly with wings as golden as the morning sun, and very, very fast. If you would try to catch it, so, you would never possess it. And the more you would try, the more angry and desperate you would become. But the children knew better. They would lay down and empty their thoughts and be calm, and soon enough, the golden-winged butterfly of Shuma Zamoria would land. Just so. Do you understand?
Yes. Thank you, Delos.
This vessel grows weary. We must not tax the goodwill of our host. I have time for one last question. You, the one this vessel calls Julia.
Thank you, Dallas. A question, not for my own benefit. Why have you been silent for so long? And why have you come back now?
I come through the one called Leonard because he has been chosen to receive wisdom. The universe has selected him, and through this he shall gain great wisdom. As for the second question, 5,000 years ago, Shuma Zamoria was destroyed, cast down beneath the waves, a victim of its own decay. And now, this cycle begins again. A third change is nearly upon us. It may bring great good or great evil. And you, all of you, will tilt a balance. My time here has ended. He whose body I inhabit has reached his limit, and I must go. Remember all I have said here today, and seek the light within each of you. I am Delos, and I wish you well.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for coming, but I'm afraid Leonard will have to rest for a while. We invite you to come back next week. And remember, an audio cassette of tonight's session will be available in the front lobby in about an hour. Thank you very much. Thank you. They're gone. Leonard? Leonard.
Hey, the Clippers are actually winning. Can you believe it?
It's about time. Here, I want you to sign here and here, okay?
How was the take?
The usual. Up from yesterday, which was up from the day before.
Numbers?
We're booked solid on the 3-day retreat. Crystals, tapes, and amulets are up 5%. Book sales are up by 10, but holding. We got the printer standing by for another run after the TV show. Which reminds me, don't forget you got the pre-interview tomorrow afternoon at 3, okay?
Good. Should be quite a reaction when Delos goes coast to coast.
Just a hop, skip, and a jump till we have a show of our own.
One step at a time. As our good friend Delos might say.
Never take anything for granted in the prophet biz.
Words far truer than he suspects.
Hey, that's a good one.
Huh? Yeah, thanks. It is a good line. Listen, get me everything you can on Daphne Blake. The more I know going in, the better I'll be able to tailor Delos.
Yeah, will do. Shall I also send her a bio on you?
I suppose, but nothing too spectacular. Just indicate that I'm a humble tool of the great Delos.
But a worthy tool can be made from even the basest of metals.
Right.
So you understand, gentlemen, this is just a formality. Miss Blake Lake's first-time guest to come by, get a feel for the place. Let us know what you want to talk about. Right this way, please. Formality saves me the trouble of keeping notes. Is there anything in particular you'd like to mention when you're on the air?
Only that the true meaning in life is that which we choose to give it, and that the universe is not without mercy, and not so jealous that it cannot allow for a multitude of visions. All truths are correct, all creeds valid, and the only secret is that there is no secret.
We're having a rally at the Pacific Arts Stadium on the 14th. So perhaps Miss Blake would want to mention that.
Sure. Which part?
You'll have to excuse Mr. Randall. He's been working very hard. Sometimes it's hard to keep it all straight.
I have no trouble seeing things as they are. That is indeed my curse. I see this television as the single greatest time waster in the history of mankind. You make sport of people's pain and exploit people and sell trinkets to those who cannot afford them. You do this to increase your own wealth. Yes, I see things quite well indeed. And I see that the woman in whose employ you labor is an adulteress, a user of chemicals.
That'll be quite enough. You'll excuse me.
What the hell is wrong with you? Where's the guy? He's gone, and I wouldn't blame him if he had the appearance canceled after what you said.
I said what? I didn't say anything.
Leonard, don't play games with me.
I'm not, Don. Honest.
You're not, huh?
And I see that the woman in whose employ you labor is an adulteress, a user of chemicals.
Who's that? It's you.
So what's the situation?
I talked to the producer at Daphne Blake's show. I took a lot of talking, Leonard, and a lot of favors called in, okay? We're still due to go on the air.
That's good at least.
Maybe. Leonard, this can't keep going on. Now, you're going to have to do something before we go on the show. You have to get control of that, that voice.
Well, it can't be Delos. There is no Delos. I mean, Don, we invented him. Remember? I said a 10,000-year-old warrior, and you thought I said a 10,000-year-old warrior. Hell, I thought you'd never stop laughing.
Yeah, only it's not funny anymore, Leonard. And the money and the good times, it all comes to a stop unless you can get this under control. Which is why I've made an appointment with someone for you. He's a specialist, and I think he can help.
A psychiatrist? No way. Not a chance.
Leonard, I don't know what's going on here, and neither do you. All I know is everything is riding on this show tomorrow. Now, mess up, man. And we're finished.
I said no. N-O. I can handle it!
I'm sorry. Look, can we backtrack a moment? I think there's something I'm not getting here. You're a trans-channeler, aren't you?
Yes.
Not to be judgmental, but you're supposed to hear voices, yes?
Yes.
Then what's the problem?
Well, it's, you've got to understand, Dr. Greenberg, I'm really getting this voice, see? And I've got to go on TV tomorrow. So, unless you can help.
Television. Now I start to get the picture, so to speak. Mr. Randall, I've worked as a psychotherapist for 20 years. I pride myself on my record. If it's all the same to you, I'd rather not be the subject of this little publicity stunt. You may claim to hear as many voices as you wish, Mr. Randall, but do not come to me to add credibility to your little scam.
Yes, you are a good man. One of the few I have met recently.
That's right, and I... Oh, I see. And this is the voice, is it? Very nice. What else do you do?
I speak honestly, that's all. It's not unlike what you do, I think.
Oh, I see. And who might you be? Napoleon? Aristotle?
Napoleon is dead. Aristotle is dead. And you do not look well yourself. Why do you do that to yourself?
I think that'll be all for today, Mr. Randall.
You miss her very much, don't you?
What?
I see such pain in you. But there was nothing you could do, even if you had arrived sooner. It would have been too late. Your wife misses you as much as you miss her. But she would prefer you did not hurry the reunion.
Get out!
What? What did I do?
Just, how dare you? How dare you use my wife to... A folded sheep! Just get out! Forget my fee, forget the whole thing, just go away!
Hey,
How do I look?
never mind how you look. How do you feel?
I think it'll be okay. I taped myself last night, and the voice, whatever. It didn't say a word all night. Maybe it's gone.
Well, let's hope so.
3 minutes, Mr. Randall.
Look, just keep telling yourself, get through this, make Thalos a star, and we are set up for life. All right? Come on, let's get out of here.
Well, we're back. Our next guest has been making quite a splash these days, and we're very pleased to have him on the show. He's a trans-channeler, and that's a fascinating subject we'll explore in just a moment. But first, I'd like to welcome him to this, his first television appearance, Mr. Leonard Randall. Hello, Leonard. How are you? So, Leonard, could you start by telling us what this trans-channeling is all about? I mean, how would you describe what it is that you do?
These are sad times, Miss Blake. All that is mysterious, all that is magic, has been leached away. People who do not see the magic in themselves seek it in someone else. They are so desperate for mystery, for something to believe in. They are willing to accept without question even the most outrageous propositions.
Such as?
Such as the man sitting in this chair. And for the honor of being treated like sheep, for the distinction of being treated like gullible children, they are willing to sacrifice. They would give it all for a scent of magic.
Mr. Randall, do you suppose that we could speak with Delos? He's the 10,000-year-old warrior that you channel, isn't he?
There is no Delos. There never was. Consider it an investment of innocence that turned a considerable profit. And now the game is over. The masquerade is ended. To the followers of Delos, I can only offer the sincere apologies of Leonard Randall. And one slightly used piece of wisdom. Do not seek enlightenment in the vain and self-indulgent proclamations of those who insist you must pay for your own soul. Do not seek it in this box or in the opinions of others. Seek it in the quiet turning of your own considered conscience. Thank you.
Well, folks, you've heard it here first. We'll be back right after these messages.
I'm almost afraid to ask.
The scandal's killing us. Everyone who's ever given us a dime is asking for it back. We've logged 200 angry calls. The investors are pulling out left, right, and center. Oh, yeah. And the IRS is nosing around. We were on shaky financial footing as it was. But now, if you're lucky, there's enough to get you a hotel somewhere for the night. If you're not,
What are we gonna do?
we. Hey, man, I'm out of here. Yeah, it's too bad, really. I thought you were sharp. I don't know. I thought you had it. Anyway, I was wrong. I got a gig with a healer down in Panama. Folks say he's the best around. Probably make it big in a few years. With the right lieutenant. Get some serious help, Leonard. And if we should ever cross a hallway somewhere, just pretend you never met me. I will. Well, Leonard, guess it's all over now.
Quite to the contrary. It is only the beginning.
You. It's you.
Yes, I'm pleased that you can hear me at last. There was so much in the way between us. That's why I had to get rid of it all, you see. You couldn't hear me. Anger, Mr. Randall? It seems rather pointless, don't you think? Isn't that what you said? What Delos said? Submerge anger. Find the center.
The hell are you? Come on out! I'll kill you, you bastard! Where are you?
I'm here, Mr. Randall. With you.
Why are you doing this to me? Why?
Look over here, Mr. Randall. I'm here at your urging, Mr. Randall. You said the universe had chosen you for wisdom, and you, of all people, should know that sometimes, when you speak to the universe listens. You asked for wisdom, and now you will receive it. It will be a long process, but to that end, I am willing to be your constant companion. I will be with you every moment, day and night, for as long as it takes.
How long? How long will it take?
20, 30 years at most. And now, as you say, in your modern world, let's take it from the top.
Critical reviews received and reluctantly acknowledged by Mr. Leonard Randall. A case study in showmanship, who found himself upstaged in the final act by the Twilight Zone.
Hello, Mr. Slater.
Hi. I'd like to see Mr. Simmons.
Oh, I'm sorry. He's no longer here. You have to see Mr. Cutler.
Good morning, Mr. Crimmins. Hi, morning, Miss Bailey. Could you check your figures against this? I gave you 7 cents off yesterday.
Yes, sir. Oh, Mr. Cribbins, I'm ordering tickets for the livestock show. How many do you need?
Just one.
Okay.
Your figures match today.
Hi, Barbara.
Still trying to get him into a conversation?
Oh, great. I've only been trying for a year. Hello? I'll tell him right away. Mr. Cribbins, Mr. Cutler wants to see you in his office right away.
Thank you.
Uh-oh. Last week Simmons, this week Cribbins. A human calculator? Cutler'd never fire him.
Focus on Warren Cribbins, a myopic little man, precise with figures, awkward with people. His horizons, a bottom line dotted with decimal points. But his safety in numbers is about to be erased.
No, no, no. Don't get mad and don't get even. Just get ahead. Yeah. Sure. Cribbins.
Yes, sir.
Have a seat.
Thanks, sir.
I'll get right to the point. You like your job?
Yes, sir, very much, and I hope my work has been to your satisfaction, sir.
Right down to the last decimal point.
Oh, thank you, sir.
Wish I could say that about everyone. Cribbins, Warren, how'd you like a promotion?
Well,
I've decided that you should replace Simmons as the new loans officer here at the Farmers Bank.
actually, I think I'm better suited.
Exactly. You respect the numbers.
Honestly,
No, no, no. Don't thank me. Sandy will help you get set up. She's your new secretary. And, we can discuss your salary later. Here, take this file and look it over. You'll find it's fairly typical.
Yes, sir.
Congratulations.
Oh. Thank you, sir.
Sandy, will you come in here for a moment, please?
I'm sorry. I wasn't looking where I was going.
Oh, whoa. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, I'm so sorry.
Oh, that's all right.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I can get them fixed for you.
No. That's all right. I only need them for close work. I'll get by.
Oh, Mr. Cribbins.
Yes?
That's my book. The blue book.
Oh. Yeah, yes, it is.
Thank you.
No, I did not take out your loan. You did. Yeah. Yes, and you agreed to abide by the conditions of said loan. No, I can't do that. Mr. Simmons is no longer working here. I said that I can't do that, and Mr. Johnson, I would appreciate it if you would watch your language, Mr. Johnson. Mr. Johnson?
Did you want anything in this hot water?
Oh, no, I have my own tea bags.
Yes, Mr. Cribbins.
Some money just dropped in there.
Where?
I could have sworn that, whatever I am, I'm sorry.
Thank you, Mr. Cribbins.
Mr. Cribbins, Mr. Cutler wants to see you as soon as you've read all of these.
Thank you.
Okay, now those green pins represent the property that the bank already owns, the color of money. And the white ones are what the major farm combines own, pure and untouchable. And the red ones, well, they're what we have paper on, mortgages, Warren. Some firsts, mostly seconds, for people mostly operating in the red.
And those are my new concerns?
Exactly. We have to call in all outstanding loans as they come due.
I see, but what if they can't pay?
Then we foreclose. Listen, Warren, I've always looked at mortgages as rent. If you have a tenant who can't pay his rent, then you find one who can. I mean, the business of America is business, right?
Calvin Coolidge.
Exactly. So it makes us great. Warren. Do you have any idea why we're stepping up our activity on this?
Oh, sir?
Well, it has to do with the new state highway coming through. If you own land the government wants, it's like sitting on oil.
Do you know where the new highway is going, sir?
Oh, boy. If I knew that, Warren, I'd own this bank instead of working for it. Anyway, the more deeds we own, the better our chances. So let's start changing those red pins to green. A-S-A-P.
I'm afraid you're delinquent on your loan, Mr. Slater. A letter was sent advising you that grace period's over this week.
You can extend it a little more, can't you?
No, I'm afraid we can't do that. The business of America is business, Mr. Slater.
The business of America is people. Or it should be.
Please, Mr. Slater, let's not take this personally. This is just business.
This isn't just business. This is my life. Just remember what that farm means. To me, my family, this whole community.
I promise to look at the figures again, Mr. Slater. See what we can do.
Name's Vern. Thank you.
It's an enormous piece of property.
Without us farmers, just dirt and dust. What's the bank gonna do with it anyway? You can't work it?
No, I guess not.
Adam, where's your mom?
Mom!
Emily! This here's Mr. Cribbins. He's from the bank.
How do you do?
Hello.
Vern tells me you're going to figure a way to make things work.
Well, since I'm not empowered to extend your loan and your equipment appears to be a little outdated, I suggest that you sell off some land.
Who to? Who's going to buy it at a price that'll be worthwhile? I'll just have that much less corn for market. How's that going to help me, Warren?
Mr. Slater, Vern, I think that may be your only option. I may not even be able to get my boss to agree to this. He wants to enforce foreclosure.
I think enforce is the key word here.
Oh, please, just look this over and think about it.
I ain't selling. You hear me, Warren? You go down to the bank, you tell them I ain't selling. Tell them loud and clear, Warren. You hear me? I got faith in you, Warren.
Morning.
Good morning. Oh, Sandy? Can I see you for a minute?
Sure.
Come on, sit down.
Okay.
I have a question I'd like to ask you. If you were in a position to help some people, but by helping them you might lose a great deal yourself, yet by not helping them, the people you want to help, they may lose everything. Would you do it?
Well,
I mean, even if it meant risking your life savings.
well, I don't really gamble. I can't afford to. But, well, I like doing things for other people. Whoa, what's wrong?
What do you mean?
What I mean is you just jumped right up out of your chair.
Oh, well, nothing. Nothing really. Oh, yes, would you do me a favor?
I'll try.
Would you draw out a cashier's check for this amount from my savings account?
Sure, no problem. Anything else?
Yes, there is one thing. Please, be very careful around the bank.
You sound like my father.
Please, be careful.
Okay, I will. Thank you for your concern.
Hello, Mr. Slater. Vern. Yeah, this is Warren. I think I may have found a solution. Vern, I think this may solve your problem.
This is a loan.
Yes, a personal loan from me, yes, correct.
Warren, I won't let you down. I'll pay you back every single penny. I promise you. Just deposited by 3, Warren. This is due day, you know.
Don't worry, Vern. They let me cut in line here. Sandy? Oh, I'm sorry, Miss Bailey.
Mr. Cribbins, what are you doing?
Oh, I'm sorry. Nothing really. I just, I thought you were going to fall.
I use this ladder all the time, and I've never fallen, not once.
Oh, I don't understand. You were supposed to be careful.
And I was. Oh, I nearly forgot. You're supposed to go see Mr. Cutler in his office. ASAP.
So, with foreclosures, like I said, it all depends on the worth of his assets. Here, I have some figures available on that. So, don't dicker with him too much there. He's in no position. His debt load's so heavy he can't say no, even when we offer him bottom dollar. Oh, sure, it's a tough deal for the guy, but, well, that's business. Right, Warren? No, I had no idea we'd strike it this rich by grabbing the Slater farm. Yeah. Yeah, well, just wait and see what else I got in mind. Hmm? You betcha. I love highways. Warren? Warren, did you understand what I just said?
Yes, sir. Offer Vern Slater bottom money because he's so far in debt he has no choice but to take it.
Exactly. Remember, the note's due today, plus penalties, plus back taxes. But you can waive it all if he takes our offer. So, get on it.
Everyone's closing and balancing. What did you want me to do with this cashier's check?
I'm not sure, Sandy. Deposited in Vern Slater's account.
After what I told you, after everything I said...
I don't understand.
You understand perfectly well. Don't play that game
I'm
with me,
not sure
Griffiths.
what you're talking about, Mr. Cutler.
We should have owned that property. If not for you, we would have. You are directly responsible for costing me a fortune.
How is that, sir?
How's that?
Please stop screaming at me, Miss Cutler.
That new state highway is gonna cut straight through Slater's farm.
Oh, really?
You personally loaned him that money! You betrayed me, Cribbins.
Well, I don't see it quite that way, sir.
How do you see it?
Aren't we the farmer's bank? I just helped out a farmer in need.
Clear out your desk, Cribbins. You're fired.
You sure you want to do that, sir?
It's worth the severance pay just to get rid of you. That sign's crooked. Fix it.
What happened? You okay?
Oh, I think so. Are you okay?
I told you to be careful, Sandy.
You were right, Mr. Cribbins.
Warren.
Warren. Oh. Take your hand off. Thank you. Oh. Oh, no, I did it again.
What?
Your glasses, I broke them. I think they're totally useless now.
Well, that's all right, Sandy. I won't be needing them anymore. What, Miss Bailey?
Accidents will happen, and Warren Cribbins had a lucky break. Instead of blindly following orders, his eyes were opened, and he saw humanity, and discovered it was his greatest asset. Add him to the list of those who have peered into the Twilight Zone.